Welcome to the Becoming Aware podcast, where I, Genevieve Faulkner, share what I'm becoming aware of.
Hello and welcome to the Becoming Aware podcast. My name is Genevieve Faulkner, your host, and today I want to talk to you about the gift of your past. So are you acknowledging the gift of your past? Are you allowing that to contribute to your future, or are you using your past as a way of creating less? So I was watching someone online the other day and I saw them do this post to kind of like contribute to their business that was basically kind of like along the lines of like, if you had no past, what would you choose? And it's funny because like that is something that I would have used like it in my business to market things in the past. And I get it because in some sense, if you don't have a past, then you have this ability to have like, you're not really locked in any timeline, because the points of view about the past tend to create the future a lot of the time, because we'll make choices that match whatever points of view that we have, and that then allows whatever to show up, right? And so when you eliminate your past, it's kind of like you can have infinite possibility. Yet, I've had this experience recently. Last year, I had this quite horrible candida infection in my gut. And what that did, one of the side effects of that is it can create like this cloudiness in your mind and memory loss. And so I've had the experience of not being able to remember everything. And from having that experience, I can kind of see things from a different way. So on one hand, yes, it's great to kind of like let go of the points of view that you have about the past. When you're using your, when you're using the past against yourself, basically the way in which you will be doing that is by judging what it is that you've chosen, and then you'll make yourself, with the judgment, you make yourself wrong. And then it's kind of like you're creating a reality where you can't actually trust yourself. So what will then happen is you'll start to make choices to validate that lack of trust you have in you. So you'll make choices effectively against yourself and then create a future where it's basically not really working for you, right? So that's using your past against yourself. So it's really useful in a sense to look at situations from the past and look at whether or not you've got charge on them. Meaning, does anything that's occurred trigger you? Is there any resentment? Is there any regret? Is there judgment towards anyone involved in anything that's occurred for you? If there is, it can be great to kind of revisit it, look at it, and kind of do something to dissolve or let go of whatever you're holding on to in regards to it. So in a sense, it might be that you require some sort of emotional release. It might be that you need to let go of the judgment or forgive yourself, or maybe there's some sort of awareness that you could have that you're not acknowledging because of the points of view that you have. Because here's the thing, any judgment that you have, any emotional intensity that you're holding on to will often lock you in a place of freeze, somewhere in the subconscious, which stops you being able to process and move forward and receive the true gift of the experience. Because I believe personally, like everything that you've chosen is a contribution to you if you allow it to be, okay? Now, allowing it to be is acknowledging that there is no right choice, there is no wrong choice, and you did choose whatever you chose every time you chose it for a reason. So it's kind of like going beyond the points of view that you have with regards to why you've made those decisions, and expanding out and functioning from the place more of like, in a sense, like more, like including more of the being that you are beyond perhaps the identity that you are playing the role of in this lifetime. So from the expansive space of your being, if your being was making the choices always like, what is the gift of the choice? What is the awareness? What is it that you're missing with regards to the bigger picture? Because I do believe also one of the reasons why, like, in a sense, yeah, you can create all sorts of situations where you're making choices against yourself, yet there's a lesson in that, right? It's kind of like if you allow yourself to receive the lesson, then you can like be grateful for that experience that you've had where you've chosen against yourself, because you now know not to do that. You now know to let go of the past. You now know to trust yourself, right? So it's kind of like being curious about everything that you've experienced that allows not just you to have more gratitude for yourself, but also for the past experiences to contribute to the future that you have. Because I believe like our beings have so much like knowledge and awareness that often the kind of like part of us that is here doesn't always fully have the full scope of. And so I think that sometimes people can create all sorts of situations or scenarios, have different kinds of relationships because of something that they've come here to kind of complete or experience in this lifetime or create. And so if you take like this little kind of like viewpoint of it, of just looking at the relationship or the experience that you've had, you might go into judgment of that singular experience. And yet it may be part of this bigger timeline of things that's supposed to lead you to greatness, right? So it's kind of like, I believe we all have these unique experiences throughout our lifetime that we can accumulate more and more awareness from, that can assist us to kind of like achieve whatever it is that we have come here to achieve. Because I do believe that each and every one of us has come here for a reason. Like we chose to be here. What did you choose to be here for? So have you asked yourself that question lately? Because I know that a lot of people can kind of just go through life like feeling like that it's you know, they are the effect of everything, and you know, maybe it's just predetermined and they had no say in it, and you know, maybe some people don't question these things. Yet my point of view and my awareness from the work that I do is that we choose it. And so what did you choose this lifetime for? What are you here for? What did you choose your childhood for? What did you choose your parents for? What did you choose the relationships that you've had for, and the jobs that you've had? And even, you know, the experiences that were like horrifying or upsetting or just didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to turn out. If you start to be curious about those sorts of things, it can allow you to really start to discover more of who you are and get kind of like much closer to knowing what is true for you and knowing where to head next, right? Whereas if you're sticking yourself in judgment because of something that you chose, you don't allow yourself to move forward, okay? You're taking yourself out of flow. And by flow, I mean being kind of like in alignment with what it is that the vast like being that you are came here to be in this lifetime, and out of flow also with the vastness of the universe that desires to contribute to you, okay? So this is what I would like to invite you to look at with this podcast. Are you in flow with the vastness of your being? Are you in flow with what it is that you came here to create or be? And if not, what needs to shift and change? Okay, because one of the things I guess that kind of like pushed my button with regards to seeing that post was that I was aware of the place and space where a lot of people will do spiritual bypassing, and meaning that they can kind of like refuse to look at certain situations or process trauma, or you know, just get present with certain things in the physical world by going into these spiritual concepts and kind of like not addressing like the nitty-gritty, right? And I think when you do that, you're doing a great discredit to yourself, and you're also doing a great discredit to the world, right? So in a sense, rather than doing that, because when you have the point of view of, oh, if you had no past, it can create that thing of like disassociation, where it's kind of like, I'm shutting off from this, I'm not willing to be connected to it. It's actually a way of creating exclusion, okay? And so that doesn't actually allow that flow, that integration, that movement with your being. What that does is it creates kind of like this elastic band, right? Because on one hand, you're like, nope, I'm moving forward from this. Like, this doesn't exist to me anymore. Yet at the same time, it does exist, but it's like you've put some sort of blanket over it, or you've created a separation. And so what happens is you might think that you're moving forward, and then spring, you get like something occurs, and everything that you've been unwilling to look at through the dismissal of your past can be kind of like brought up and brought to the surface. And, you know, this is the way that the universe works. It likes to kind of like get us to really unravel anything that we've solidified. So it's kind of like, that's what can create, those catastrophic moments, or those moments of just complete destabilization, or those times where you feel like you're back, like, 10, 20 years ago, experiencing something similar, and you're like, how the hell did I get here? Like, I haven't changed at all, that kind of thing. When no, it's just that you've done the disassociating and like dismissing what it is that you've gone through, instead of really being present with it, really acknowledging the choices that you made that created it, and kind of like allowing yourself to receive the full integration of what you learnt from going through those experiences. And honestly, like allowing yourself that, letting yourself be that present with those moments, whatever they are, like that's where that gratitude for you can build and grow. And, the more gratitude you have for you, the more magic is possible. The more you have an ability to create what it is that you would like to create in your life, because effectively, when you're grateful for you, you're not actually judging you. And so you have more of you on your side. You're able to make the choices that are really for you. So gratitude really creates that flow, right? With yourself, with the universe. So if this contributes to you, if it makes you start wondering, pondering, just take a moment to look back. Is there anything about my past that I'm avoiding? Is there anything about my past that I kind of just want to dismiss or cut off from? Is there anything about my past that I'm in judgment of, or I regret, or there's emotional charge about? And just asking that question and acknowledging it, and then maybe, asking if there is, okay, well, what's it going to take to move through this? What do I need to be aware of? What do I need to choose? What do I need to shift? Sometimes it might be that you require help, healing, someone to listen to you. You might require to write some things down. There may be an actual process to fully integrating why you've chosen what you've chosen. Sometimes it might simply just being present, acknowledging you and acknowledging what is there, and then choosing to go beyond it is what allows things to change. So it can be different for everybody. I know the work that I do with theta healing can assist people to move through anything that they are in judgment of, or that they've suppressed, or that they've cut off from, or disassociated from. Any place that they're in judgment of themselves and not really acknowledging just how kind of intelligent their beings are. Because this is the thing, we've chosen so many different things because of the intelligence of us, because of the intelligence of the universe. The universe creates such interesting experiences and all like different beings coming together to play out different things to assist each other to grow, like so often. And it's quite amazing, to kind of like just acknowledge what is sometimes, just be present with it and see all of the patternings that occur both in your own life and in the life of people around you. So I hope this podcast episode contributes to you. I guess this might be a short one. I just kind of like wanted to put this out there and remind people, like really don't make yourself wrong for anything that you've chosen. You chose it for a reason. Anything that you feel like you are a victim of, usually there is a gift to that you haven't fully integrated or received yet. So especially with regards to those experiences, ask yourself, like, what is the gift of this? What have I not yet received from this experience? What awareness could I have? And what would it take for me to move beyond this? Like, how do I grow? Like, how do I allow myself to grow beyond this? And what contribution is my past, everything that I've experienced, to the future that my being desires to create? Okay? That's the question, because there may be different elements in every single experience that you've had that when you put them all together, further down the line, you might realize that like every single experience is part of the gift of how you got to that future, right? So the more you ask that question, what contribution is my past to my future, the more you can actually assist that energy to kind of like propel you forward into the future that your being desires to create. If you need any assistance, I am available for one-to-one sessions. You can check them out below the link with this video. And yeah, any questions, you are more than welcome to leave comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to. And yeah, if there's anything you would like me to do a podcast episode about, feel free to leave that in the comments also. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Till next time, see you later.